Some homes carry burdens heavier than bricks and mortar. Ours was one of them. My name is Robert Taylor, and this is the story of how I lived beneath the weight of a family silence, until the day it shattered me. There are no heroes here, no perfect villains. Just a boy who grew up feeling unseen, and the moment I stopped letting that feeling define me. In our house, love wasn't given, it was earned. And I was always in debt. My brother, Ethan, was the golden one. Effortlessly charming, the kind of person who lit up rooms just by walking into them. My mother, Clara, clung to him like he was her reason for breathing. He's just like me, she'd say, resting her hand on Ethan's shoulder, never once looking my way. I was the quiet outline in the corner, the one who memorized every creaky floorboard so I could move through life unnoticed. By the age of 10, I could fix a wobbly chair, balance a checkbook, and disappear like I'd never been there at all. I remember once, my mother had friends over. Their laughter echoed through the dining room like a party I wasn't invited to. I spent hours setting that table just right, hoping she'd acknowledge me. When I walked in, she barely glanced up. "Not now, Robert." "Later," she said. Later never came. "You're too quiet for them. They wouldn't understand you," she added. My father, Henry, was a different story. A mechanic with grease-stained hands and eyes that noticed more than he ever said. When I scored high on a math test, he taped it to the fridge. That small act meant everything to me. "No one sticks up grades anymore," Mom scoffed. But he left it there. Quiet defiance. He was my grounding force, the only one who truly saw me. As we grew older, the gap widened. Ethan drifted from one thing to another. Whenever he quit a job or missed a payment, Mom would sigh, "He's just figuring things out." Meanwhile, I built my life the hard way, working late, paying off my tiny apartment, brick by brick. Every visit home made me feel like an outsider. Mom and Ethan chattered over each other, their laughter forming a barrier I couldn't cross. But Dad always left the porch light on. "How's the city treating you?" he'd ask as he poured me coffee, every word genuine. Then the shift happened. Dad retired. Finally free from the tools and engine oil, he poured his energy into projects, building bookshelves, planting tomatoes in the backyard. We'd sit on the steps together, admiring the life he coaxed from soil. But one morning, he tripped on those same steps. A fractured hip. That tiny break became the start of something far bigger. His recovery was slow, painful. He fought, but his body betrayed him. The walker came first. Then the wheelchair. Mom couldn't handle it. "He just sits there all day," I overheard her whisper once. Ethan didn't even look up from his phone. "It's like he's already gone." I stepped into the room. "He's still here." They flinched. But that didn't stop the drift. Mom stopped cooking. Ethan stopped helping. Then I found the brochure. Glossy pages showing beaches and wine tastings. "It's just a little getaway," Mom said when I showed it to her. "He can't travel, obviously." "Who's staying with him?" I asked. She shrugged. "You're good at this, Robert." They didn't ask. They expected. And I stepped in. I fed him, bathed him, repositioned his pillows, ignored his apologies. My world shrank to the size of his needs, while theirs expanded with getaways and restaurant reservations. 6 months in, I noticed something strange. Dad's bank statements stopped arriving. When I asked Mom, she waved it off. "It's all online now. Less paper, less clutter." But I had a gut feeling. I tried logging in, access denied. The bank told me I was no longer authorized. Power of attorney had been transferred to Mom and Ethan, without a single conversation. Then I overheard her on the phone. "Put it on the main account," she said. Later, I asked which one. She gave a too smooth smile. "Your father's. It's just easier." I wanted to scream, but I stayed silent. Like always. Dad's world shrank further, confined to the den with only a window for company. I reduced my work hours, stepped in wherever Louise, the caregiver, couldn't. Mom and Ethan were phantoms by then. Always out. Always unavailable. Then came a hospital visit. Routine, they said. But the doctor's face told a different story. Late-stage pancreatic cancer. Months left, if that. I didn't tell Mom or Ethan right away. I couldn't. Dad squeezed my hand, eyes filled with everything his voice couldn't express. That night, I quit my job. I made him soup, read him westerns, learned the rhythm of his breathing like a song. One evening, I found an envelope in his desk, my name on the front, written in shaky pen. Inside, a letter. Robert, you've carried too much. This is for you. Go live. Love. Dad. Behind it, a signed lease for an apartment by a park. A deposit receipt. And a wedding venue booking, for next fall. I'd never told him about Anna, the hospice nurse who sat with me through quiet nights, hands wrapped around steaming mugs. He'd seen it. Planned for it. He never told Mom. Or Ethan. Just me. Dad passed away on a gray morning, his hand in mine. No final words. Just a soft breath and stillness. I handled everything. The paperwork. The funeral. The calls. Mom and Ethan arrived late, emotionless, untouched. At the service, Mom spoke like she'd shared some deep love with him. Her words were polished. Hollow. Later, back at the house, they confronted me. Sign this, Ethan said, sliding a legal document across the table. You're not part of the estate. We have power of attorney. Mom's voice was crisp. You're starting over, Robert. This isn't your fight. My hand didn't shake, but my heart did. 10 days, Mom said. To pack. To leave. I took Dad's letter, his photo, and walked out. 3 days later, Mom called me in a panic. The money's gone. What did you do? I didn't even blink. You had the power. You and Ethan. Maybe check the account. They never had. They didn't know Dad spent it all on me, on a future he wanted me to have. They panicked. Cancelled the cruise. Sold the house for less than it was worth. Moved into a cramped condo. No porch. No sunlight. Ethan's social media dried up. Mom's friends disappeared. I never looked back. Now I live with Anna in that apartment by the park, the one Dad chose. I carry him with me. He was the one who truly saw me. If you've ever felt invisible, tell me in the comments, what's something you wish someone had seen in you? And if this spoke to you, subscribe. Because sometimes, the people who see us are the ones who save us.